evidence of this, but we could know for sure the question. Are any Turning Point employees receiving money from Multiverse LLC? I'm going through all of this history so that we understand that this was the financial infrastructure that was already in place when Charlie Kirk was murdered. So the old company was closed, this new company was formed in Delaware, secondly titled Voyeur has $650,000 in cash, and 110 LLC receives $2.3 million from Perry Lake's super PAC. The obvious question is, did any of that $2.3 million somehow make it into Tyler Voyeur's pocket? But there is another shell company that we have not even talked about yet. Turning Point PAC. This is a political action committee, and we know from Tyler Voyeur's Instagram profile that he is also involved in this company. We can see how Turning Point PAC spends money on federal campaigns by looking at OpenSecrets.org. And surprise, surprise, we can see that the majority of the expenditures for Turning Point PAC are being sent to the UPS store mailbox for 110 LLC. It paid $1.1 million in the 21-22 election cycle and $2.1 million in the 23-24 election cycle. So if you've been keeping track, the amount of money Turning Point has sent to 110 LLC has now increased from $1.5 million to $4.7 million. How is this Arizona state senator with no office helping out on all of these federal campaigns? No office. Am I the only person who finds it crazy that there are millions of dollars flowing through this UPS or mailbox? The person who could answer these questions very easily is Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays. She could issue a subpoena for the accounting records at 110 LLC and Turning Point and give us the answers to everyone's questions. Since people have been raising these questions, she has done nothing. We have not heard a word from Chris Mays. What is she doing? Honestly, what does she do all day long? Is she in her office drinking margaritas? Is she going to look into the questions about Turning Point? Can we at least get a strongly worded statement from her? Anything? Fast forward to Charlie Kirk's murder. What I pointed out in my previous videos is that in the months leading up to Charlie Kirk's murder, there were strange things happening in the financials at Turning Point. There was the unusual transfer of $8.6 million from Turning Point USA.
So, $8.6 million from Turning Point USA to America's Turning Point that Tyler Voyeur ran, but Charlie Kirk was not on that. Isn't that wild? Okay, okay, that's the main Turning Point USA. Then there's all these other companies.
America's Turning Point. There was the unusually high employee expense for Tyler Voyeur's shell company that we still did not explain. There was all the money that was sent from Tyler Voyeur's shell companies to 110 LLC. I believe these transactions culminated in the memo that Charlie Kirk issued 8 days before he was murdered, where he appointed a new COO of Turning Point USA, Justin Stripe, and requested a new Doge-style audit.
So, he caught on to this. He caught on to the millions and millions of dollars coming in and being funneled around. That's what, and then he ordered a Doge-style audit of Turning Point USA and all their shell companies. And 8 days later, he's killed. And by the way, they're not doing the Doge-style audit. American Kirk is not doing it. Why would they?
Well, it's her family.
Yeah, like, oh my god, what a way to ruin my fucking day.
Now, anyone who's worked in corporate America knows what that memo implies. That is the typical memo that you see when you discover someone is stealing money from the company. You replace their position, you start a new audit, and you work on moving that person out of the company. Now, Tyler Voyeur has responded to this allegation with this post on X.com. He says, "Made up. I haven't been COO of TV USA for over 3 years. You're listening to people thinking things up." He posts a screenshot of his LinkedIn profile as evidence, showing that he was the chief operating officer of Turning Point Action since July 2022, implying that he had nothing to do with Turning Point USA or Charlie Kirk's memo. I find Tyler Voyeur's post ridiculous. We were not born yesterday. To my knowledge, since Tyler Voyeur's change in title in 2022, no one has held the position of COO at Turning Point USA until Charlie Kirk's memo appointing Justin Stripe. And anyone who's worked in corporate America knows that if you get that title change and no one backfills your position, you still end up doing your old job. So it is still likely that Charlie Kirk's memo was attempting to minimize Tyler Voyeur's influence at the company. What's even more compelling is that Tyler Voyeur's post is contradicted by his own words. The Washington Post obtained a secret audio recording of Tyler Voyeur. This is from late 2022, after his supposed change in title. Take a listen. I'm not sure if this was anything to say, because I don't know anything for the wrong office. So, you realize I got to be on there. Notice, he's talking specifically about Turning Point USA, not the other shell companies. And he says, you were talking with the guy who basically runs everything. This is Tyler Voyeur, in his own words, months after he supposedly changed his title. So which one is it, Tyler?
There's a camera on me and I don't like it. This is not going to end up so good. So. Oh my god.
So check this out. Tesla's Cybertruck flop is costly for South Korean supplier. Long story short,
You just have to get through this part where like you just have to get to the part where you forget that it's on, and then we'll be good. Right? No. Yes, it will. That'll be fine. Like,
I'm not making those accusations. I'm just saying it's obvious that this was a task force
I
coordinated
probably should have learned all the rules for
powers that be are freaking out over the fact
what's the copyright crap called?
as the pants watch.
I can't. Oh.
You want to see how this paid for hockey for kids going over to Florida State Campus over.
That's gonna be fun. I know they're all judging you on what you're watching. I know. Fair use. That was the answer to the question I asked like 3 minutes ago. Fair use. I think it's only fair use for people who either I don't know how to say this. I don't know if I can do cigarettes on here without getting struck. But like once I get through this part, like you never know, like maybe like in this time next week, I'll just be so completely comfortable. Oh god. Anyway. Whatever. I keep leaning forward. I know I keep leaning forward so that like I'm high. I can't even scroll on my phone right now. Not that I don't even do that a lot, but but now like I guess like I'm thinking about wanting to do it because this is so hard. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm good. I mean, like, okay, so if the camera was off, I would literally be sitting here just doing exactly what I'm doing right now. Alright. Okay. Right? Just talk it out. It'll be alright. Maybe, I don't know about figures, like maybe I have to like speed it up. I only learn about shit that really interests me, and fair use, copyright shit, it's never been an interesting subject for me to just go out and freaking learn. Okay, so. crazy people are the smartest people now. That's what. That's what's the fucking. That's so funny to me about people in social media comment sections, like calling people crazy. Number one, that's like when someone's in the comment section, like pretending to be a doctor and diagnosing mental illness. That in itself is the definition of mental illness. That's you know, so it's just like it's a word trap, and the people who do that don't even they're so mentally ill they don't get it. That's I mean just Americans I think are pretty much all of us are one way or another mentally ill.
Well, I'm watching this share. So, if you don't know who this rich guy is, this rich guy was the former special ops military guy. He was at that camp, Shahuka, is that how you say it? Mahuka?
Wachuca,
Wachuca, that's like
Hatua, Wachuca. Yeah, I think there's like you know like
there at this military base.
a circular thing going on with that. Like that's funny. Like, you know, when they broke the story, they were like, "What word? What base can we? What word can we use? That's you know, people are gonna yeah."
So, that's what this guy. So, while Rick was sharing his testimony of what he allegedly saw at Fort, how do you say this? Wachuca. Everything else talks about it.
Wachuca, Hatua, like they sound too much the same. Like everything is a psyop. Even this live stream is a psyop. Y'all couldn't. Yeah. Stop. I hear y'all talking. Stop.
So he says, I simply voiced my concerns that Mitch might be lying to Anderson when the meeting met with hundreds of pages.
Stop.
He just handed over himself pretending to be looking into his past and who he said he is. That immediately felt like maybe there was some legitimacy.
I can't even like. Oh my god, this stupid camera on me is like. I can't even. I can't even watch TV effectively.
Verify his story. Was he there that day? Were those people there that day? Are there any record of him being there that day? Now, that's how you check his smoke. You don't call up his high school sweethearts and ask if they have any dirt on him. That's not how you investigate this. But anyway, this is what he said. So I reached out to several of his former partners and friends to verify the story. They tell us he was. First they tried to say he wasn't agreeing on staying in the military. He was. Okay. 2 nights ago, they responded to me and shared thousands of messages, stories, and bumped many things in his case. They even provided me with a police report about an active case against him. Okay. Mitch on all accounts, everyone who knows him personally, including his own family, is a compulsive liar, manipulator, abuser, victim, and all-around fraud and horrible human being. Sounds like when they can something say in our opinion. Yeah. He's a psychopathic narcissist, I believe. It's true sex. After sharing what sounds like his personal politics, after sharing what those in his life told me about him, I have been met with thousands of hate comments completely smearing me and making the most of us. For what? I know this is not Candace directing her followers to industry, but is the culture she's created? No, the exact opposite. The exact opposite. Now I know you're a thing.
Oh my god.
She is not responsible for the behavior of her followers.
The 5D chess is real. And people are coping. Oops. I'm gonna do that. Alright. I can't watch Netflix today. That sucks. Doing it for the greater good of yourself. Oh my. Hi. Yes, plenty of people are, but why is Candace the one being platformed is my question, and that's not to say that what she's doing isn't real. What I'm saying is she's not the only one. She's the only one being platformed doing it. It's all a psyop. Everything's a psyop. Everything. People don't people don't get to be seen without being part of the problem. And people who only watch one source for their news are not getting any news. They're only they're only getting what they want to hear. That's no one ever like wrote a book about anything by just do researching one side. That's not intelligent. That's not smart. Yet the system that we live in, this American left right paradigm we live in, is designed
So I also know many of you like thousands or may not be so interested. But of course, I did not support where Kansas is headed.
there's a platform. There's a nefarious reason.
Out of curiosity, why were you coordinating your Twitter posts yesterday via text with other influencers? Narrator, don't deny it, Evan. So, as I'm diligent evidence, evidence is emerging that right-wing influencers were coordinating with each other in a smear campaign Friday and Saturday. If so, the fact that entities proposed so much effort to shut down Rich proves that we are overly targeted. Yes, that's actually what that does prove. Otherwise, you're like, why would this guy's a nut? He's always done that. Nobody's kind of, what, why would you pay him any money? Why don't we let you know that you are roundable? Yeah. Enough. Roundable. So here it is. There appears to have been a paid influencer campaign against David Bowie. Or Wahoo Charlie Kirk whistleblower, Snow. Yesterday, coordinated
Oh, now it's Wahoo guy.
it's about campaign launch across social media. Again, so, with some surprising right-wing accounts coming out against it. What's interesting is that these same accounts also appear to be doing paid promotion for Holly Market. It begs the question, were they paid to come out against Rich Snow? So this is what really gets demonstrated, right? I am now speaking with one of Mitchell Snow's ex-best friends. Spoiler alert, there's nothing trustworthy about what you said about his past, no reason to believe it now. I'm sorry. I'm interested in the truth. That's Evan Kilgore. So that's not untrue investigation about what every guy's saying is true.
Okay.
So here it is.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to be a liar to do domestic violence. I mean, it's like what you could tell the truth and still hit people. I have, haven't you?
So he wanted the Polly Market. Evan Kilgore reposted the Polly Market. Crazy, the odds of Timon being criminally charged are soaring. Read the expose revealing fake Timon behavior. I love and support Karen Stone and have immense respect for her and her work and the investigation is her. I cannot feel safe behind Mr. Stone. This is a showing. And then let's watch the Polly Stone.
I can't believe Mitch now because somebody told me that he got arrested for beating his girlfriend. Okay, now I may seem a liar. You know, if you look at liar in the dictionary, it's definitely gonna say wife beaters.
But whether they're being paid by Polly Market belongs to this obvious astroturf campaign against Kangazoos and Mitch. I can't verify this ranking to that. And so they even go after Drew Pool, which, come on. Really?
We're in this age of information. That's why everything is crumbling. They can't they had to have foreseen that. Hold on, let me think out loud. That's what this is ultimately about. Okay, I just have to get comfortable to be able to think out loud. Okay, look, I forgot what I was saying. Let me come back. There's so much information, and now I think they have to understand that all this information is just getting out to everyone, and they had to have known that they had, because like why else would they have let what's his name, Garrett Coleman, is that his name, the one who did, made viral the whole Google Trends thing where you can see who's looking up what and where. Like, why did you know, they, whoever they are, it's not me, it's not probably you. Why did they give Garrett Coleman, is that his name, a platform to you know what I mean? It's just, like, I know that like information is just so readily available to anyone who wants it. So everything's falling apart because of that. But then also they could have stopped the Google Trends thing from being. It's like they want to be found out. Why do they want to be found out? Because they're because they, oh, okay, all right, that's why, because they know that it's just too much information, that's why they're throwing up the AI data centers so freaking fast. Like, oh my god, just think this thing out. Like, they need the war to start. And as soon as that happens, they're probably going to shut down the internet, I guess. I don't know. Like, what do y'all think? I don't know. Like, when because they're definitely fomenting what's about to happen. Will they turn off the internet when it starts? Hmm. You're probably right. Or maybe not, because it's not just going to be a war here. It's going to be the war is going to be global. Like, it's just because like, America isn't the only country who, the bankster mafia like, owns. They own all of at least all the countries in the West for sure, and most of them in the Middle East. And they also own, oh yeah, and they also own all the ones in the East, and that's where you get the whole like chess, chess, like that thing, like East West. Okay, yeah, that's who's playing the chess, right? Like the East and the West, they're playing the chess. It rhymes. It's got to be that, right? Like they're the ones doing that, and like the Illuminati card game that everybody has heard about for decades. And that's real. And I think what is happening is that is the 4D, 5D chess or whatever, because it's the East against the West. It always has been, and so I think that they're literally like, I mean, physically playing the Illuminati card game. Probably, I don't know, at Davos or wherever, but and then like I guess the East gets to pick a card and then discard it or pick another, and that's how these things on the cards happen. Because once you pick the card, I don't know, you got 6 months to do the thing on the card. You got three, like like right, like nobody. I don't ever hear anyone ever flesh out or talk about how is this 4D 5D chess game that everybody talks about. How is it actually working? That's how, and along with the Illuminati card game like that's how I think, since nobody else is offering what they think that is. I think that's exactly what that is, and that's how, you know. So like even if the Simpsons, Matt Groening, doesn't like really know everything that's going to happen, all you have to do is go get the Illuminati card game and just make an episode for every one of the events that like just make an episode of all of them, and it's oh shit, man, that's how they're doing that. You just make it. That's how. I am so damn smart. Sorry, I've been like I am. Y'all are too. But the things that whoever the they are, the they make you spend your life trying to prove to you that you're not, but you are. We all are. We all have superpowers because we're all immortal super beings. We just don't know it. We're the AI. We are the AI. We just don't know it yet.
I don't know. So this is what they're claiming. So this is what they're claiming that somehow. Now I don't. Again, I cannot. That seems hard to believe. Simple worth a lot of money. I don't think you would.
See, and this is why I have to do this what I'm doing this way because, like, yeah, I could sit here without the camera on me having these thoughts, and I think them, but then I'm just too lazy. I would usually just, I mean, I'm gonna just, whatever, to each his own. But I'm not the one that's just gonna sit down and just immediately like outline my no. I am like a no effort, lazy person. In a good way. I still get shit done. Like, I always get everything I want. Like, I really do. Like I've never had to work. And it wasn't like necessarily by choice, it's just how, but also I don't do jobs well because I don't, I don't play well with others. Um, because it just like, I just, I see like I hate sounding like a new age weirdo, but I see people's intentions. It just takes me a few seconds of sometimes some people are harder for me. Not really. It's like some people I meet, I'll get a bad vibe, but maybe I have like some part, like the other part of me like really wants to like this person or something. I don't know, man. Shut up, Zach.
So Diligent Medicine says exposed another one. Ian Miles, Collie Market promoter, attacking anyone investigating Johnny Perkins accident. And Rich Snow has been outed.
So yeah, if like okay, so just say I sat here and I did what other people do and I wrote down my thoughts and then I made an outline and figured out a whole video of shit to say. It wouldn't be I don't know. Okay, all right, maybe it would be organic, but not for me. Not for me. No.
Collie Market network is massive and seems to be working with the Trump administration. Miles is a foreigner. How is this legal? So here, let's. So there he is. Yeah, Collie Market, Collie Market, Collie Market. So I think this guy lives in where he lives, somewhere like.
So many times a day I'll be sitting here doing exactly what I'm doing right now, and like what I'm doing right now, I realize like I'm not listening to this video at all. Like, why am I even doing this? Because I need some kind of noise in the background, maybe. I don't know, maybe. So then I go back like right now, and I'm gonna try to like start paying attention. And on videos that they're about things I really want to learn about, I'll find myself having to just go back and rewind it, and then I'll watch the same thing again, and won't pay attention to any of it. And 3 or 4 times I have to do that. I used to read a lot when I was a kid. I learned how to read when I was 3. By the first grade, I had a high school reading level, and there's a word for that. It's also a thing that's, I can't remember what word am I for? It's special just to like autistic people, but now I just forgot what I was saying. Um, oh, it's called ah! Hypersomnia. It's hyper oh my god. I didn't forget the word. I'm just selectively forgetting it right now. So I look stupid. Uh, I fuck it. It'll come in like 3 minutes.
So that's a lot of polymarket tweets by that guy.
Hyperlexia. Damn. Hyperlexia.
He tweeted out Kirk Hammond and said everyone can monkey.
And then most of us have dyslexia. So that's a weird combination that only a superhero could have, right? How do you have hyperlexia and dyslexia? Like you just read shit real fast backwards? Which I do that a lot. I see words backwards all the time. Like, and I guess I always have, but I just, became aware of that, um,
So almost all of these
in the last like 5 years or something.
slot narrative of the Charlie Kirk assassination promotes polymarket. Here's another one. Oh, this is the Bordering guy? Yeah. That's what they talked about? Yeah. They're now, so these are the people who promote polymarket are defending the Charlie Kirk slot narrative and attacking Mitch Snow. Well, the Mitch Snow thing is a real tell. So when I saw them all coming out at the same time, in the same coordinated effort, that obviously Astros are to go after Mitch Snow at the exact
This
same
is
time,
definitely
I'm like, oh, they're really afraid of it. Just
you
like
don't
they're
take
afraid of
it
the
fucking
well,
phone.
but they're really afraid of it. So again, if he was garbage, nobody would care. And there certainly would be tons and tons of drama.
Only a few hours left.
Did you ever see the original Ben Carter right here? No. That's the whole time you want Jeremy. Jeremy's on with his holes in the snow. Okay, here we go. Now, if you don't believe Candace Owens, not only are you not Christian, but you're part of a paid influencer.
You sure?
Ha ha ha. Whatever happened to that illegal lot of Frank Assassins, by the way?
It's like, come on, stealing my glasses. Glasses keep going. This is the second pair of glasses I lost. Oh, there's the first ones I lost. Oh, I was looking for you guys anyway. Good job. I'm not even, I don't even know what he's talking about. Oh, we're talking about Candace Owens.
No one cares about Candace like that, other than when she's telling the truth, everyone's back there, and she stops. Just like you.
The best lies are mostly truth. What are you guys even talking about? That's not my quote. That's somebody else. Oh, look, there's those second glasses. That's not my quote. That's somebody else's quote. But I don't remember the original thinker. I don't think I could if I wanted to, because I think that thought was thought at the beginning of humanity. I did in my peripheral vision. I just saw the screen change up. So apparently, I have a voyeur. I'm not at the stage of this experiment where I can look at the phone. Anyway. Now I just feel more added. Like, who owns Polymarket but the people who are, oh my god. This is all such a shit show, man. And look, here's the thing. This year, everybody has to come up for air from the bipartisan shit show, because it's a unipartisan thing. Like they just don't know it. Like And so, ah, they're fomenting all this so that we jump it. Like Americans. There's gonna be some tipping point, and Americans are just gonna like, especially the ones who only know the first part of the Second Amendment. It's gonna be the ones who haven't read through in time the second part of that amendment, and they're just gonna do something silly, and then look at. Well, nobody told me you had to organize militias. Like, I wish they would have told me. We would, Jimbo, we would have started that militia last year, and now we can't. They done took our damn guns, man. What are we gonna do with Leroy? It's too late to, and especially now that Palantir is literally watching. They have all of our information, all of it, in a database, which is daily. That's why the data centers are coming up. Y'all think it's coming up so we could have a chat GPT husband or wife? No, the data centers are coming up because they're collecting. They're having to do it. Oh my God, I just thought of this. They're having to do a running like collection. Like they're extracting everything and they're doing it constantly on all of us. Like that. Oh my God. Don't tell me when I said that. So they gotta hurry up and foment, this shit before, which is probably right now happening, but it's still too late. It's still too late. So what are we gonna do? I hear a lot of people talking about you're gonna do this tax revolt, and it's gonna get to be April 5th. Like these people, they're gonna not pay their taxes. They're gonna do it. Man. But see, if y'all had read the second part of the amendment a long time ago and started preparing, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Everybody, like, this is not new. Like, if you haven't been able to understand that there's the two sides or the one side, come on, bro. I can, like, at this point, the people who are still MAGA or even America First and then these blue heart liberal, I can't take none of y'all seriously. I cannot take any of you people seriously. You're not serious. You're not serious. You know what's happening. You know, it's, everybody knows. I mean, I'm like, I sit and I think about that. Does that mean that, does everybody, like, what are y'all thinking? Or is it that, oh wow, they just oh my God. If all of them in the one group are just listening to each other in the echo chamber, then, okay, well then, and they're all afraid to quote unquote sound like a conspiracy theorist, which that's a whole nother issue that we'll talk about later. Oh God. But they're afraid. They don't want to be like they're just embarrassed to say what they know. But it's all. So now they're like one by one, like they're fine. Like people are coming out and making some tepid videos about it. But still, they're tepid videos. So I watch them and I'm like, well, finally you're here. I mean, like, where have y'all been? Like, we've been telling y'all this for a long time. I voted one time in 1996. It was for the presidential election, and I only voted just because I had never voted before. But after that, like, it didn't take long for me to realize that that shit's it's not real. It's just not real. Like, it's not. Like, anyway. But I'm glad. I'm not making fun of anybody for just. But yeah, I am. But anyway, that's not to say that I'm not glad. I guess people are waking up, but yeah, you're still late for work. Don't even have time to take a shower now, do you? But I do know that the Project Looking Glass, as far as, and I'm not saying that the FOIA you know, request, whatever, or when they declassified it, they didn't doctor it first. But according to that, which most people really, I don't think, know about that, but this ends with us winning. We win. We win. Now I don't know how many's gonna still be in that group of we when it's over with, but we definitely win. Right now it's just it's lag time. We just got to get from here to there. We just got to get from here to the we win part, and the in between time between here and the we win part. I don't know what's gonna be in there. I don't know what's happening there. Like whoo, whoo. I see the movement, and like thank you for being here. I can't if I look at that phone and start like read, I don't know what people are saying, and I don't it'll fuck up my experiment. No. Hopefully I'll get to a point. That's the goal, I guess. Though.
So,
You know.
again, I'm not. They really went hard at this. Well, I don't think.
Like I said, like huh? How like oh my god, you can like Polymarket. You know how much the board Polymarket are making, like how much money, and like they're doing they're the ones ah! I heard somebody say earlier, people call themselves taxpayers, and that's not even true. It was the guy from the Disturbing Illusion. He's got a good channel. You should watch it. But anyway, he was saying, nobody's a taxpayer. It's like, and then he likened it to like your electric bill. We pay our electric bill. We pay our phone bill. We pay the we pay those. But we don't pay the tax bill. No, they come and it's taken from us. Nobody wants to pay the tax bill. They take it from us under threat of force. If you don't pay us this, we're gonna come take you and put you, as he said it, in a cage. We don't pay our taxes. They're taken from us. You know, and like, say you don't pay your car note. You know they can just take your car, but they can't throw you in jail. They can just take your car. Nobody wants that, but you willingly pay it. But I don't think freedom should be in the same category as car. You know, like I'm not like that's just to say like I got a freedom note, like a car note. You don't pay your car note, they take your car. So we're paying a freedom. The taxes pay our freedom note. So you don't pay your freedom note. They're gonna come. They're just gonna take it, and the taxes are the freedom note. Oh my god. Fucking central bank freedom note, Federal Reserve.
It's obvious to me that it was after the campaign against Clinton and Candace this weekend on social media. It's obvious it was after
And
her.
all of like especially the entirety of social media on X, Twitter, whatever. All it is there to do is to keep everyone fighting each other, and everybody's still just like you've got everything to know that that's what's happening, but they're still just gonna just dick ride a party. Like oh my god, like I can't take you seriously. I can't even take you seriously because you look so silly. Like it's so silly to me. And every day you can't even pretend like you don't know this is happening. Nobody can pretend anymore that they don't know what's happening. We know. Like, do you still have dial-up AOL? I mean, what the hell, man? No, we all right. I'm gonna take a little break with this camera still on. So is it a break? Probably not. Okay, here's the other thing you just reminded me. Okay, so like, there's literally websites where that have bounties. They have it, and there's a bounty for you for um, influencers to make a video, and they're all political, but make a video, and you have to put these certain keywords in the line, and then you get paid like per 100,000. Like you get paid per like cluster of views, but it's a bounty. So once you know, uh, every time a creator or influencer does it, like it pulls money, and so the bounty only lasts as long as there's money left in the bounty. Anyway, so these people have the money to, or like I don't know how much it takes to get a Pakistani bot farm to farm your crap. But here's the like at this point again, everybody knows, even their influencers, they're all lying. And I get it. We're poor. America's poor. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's where the money's at. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. But just know that I can't take you seriously anymore. Like you know what I mean? Like to get information, and that's the thing that's gonna happen this year. Everybody is like, okay, so people will say and repeat a stupid thing for so long, even after, you know, even if, like, after they find out, but still, if everybody around them is still, but there's comes a point where, the human knows that there's just too much evidence out there, just, when that once they get to that point, they know they look stupid, and so it's like, and then, and see what's happening is like it's like a domino effect. All these people are like they're at that point that are just that point, and so they're just following like dominoes, like and what's happening is going to make everybody else go, oh my God, somebody finally said it, which like not, I'm not gonna say I'm not tooting my horn. Yes, I am tooting my horn. I've been like I have been laughed off the internet for saying this shit since probably 2009. I was making Netanyahu posts in 2009 on Facebook, and honestly, because like they were in the news back then, and I was watching, but I guess I was watching from a very ignorant lens at that time, and so I still didn't know the full story of Israel. I didn't, but I still remember I wasn't taking any sides because whatever it was real messed up. But the information I was getting still did not let me know that what was going on there, and and at this point, I'm pretty sure that you know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say it because it was been going on way before 2023. It just if you know that, I know you know that. Anyway, I still I still didn't know that. That was what I'm trying to say back then when I was you know like watching. I don't remember what happened in 2009, but something happened, and I don't care enough that I've even gone back and checked what it was. I just remember that's when I learned that dude's name, which I found out recently. It's not even his name. I better watch out because I'm sure the auto mods are pack oriented. Like all these there's like a bunch of these like MAGA Second Amendment libertarian, I guess, podcasters who I don't know if I can I don't know if I can play this on it. Anyway, Um, I'm like, okay, so like on the left, people like Kyle Kalinske. Oh my god. Bro, I can't take you serious. Like he reports on some good shit, but then he always uh, keeps you divided to you know the side of the chessboard. He's getting paid by them. And he's like, I've never done an ad read. I'm not. Yeah, that doesn't mean you're not still collecting a check. Often people think I'm stupid. I'm not stupid. Except when I want to be. Alright, so I'm gonna put it like, I hope I don't get fact check everything. Oh, oh, oh. Like, I saw this morning. I'm like,
I'm done making corrupt politicians and foreign leaders rich. It ends here, it ends now. It's a waste of time to vote, and it's a waste of energy to pay taxes so that we can give it to people that are going to steal from us, and then we can send it to other countries that hate us. Hey, welcome back to the Disturbing Illusion channel with the re-revelation of all of the fraud going on in Minnesota with the Somalis.
like this thing is coming this year, man. It's coming this year, and it just like And if I were the person who only went to Fox News or freaking Benny Johnson or I went those right people for my news, or I just went to Breaking Points or Kyle Kalinske or like yeah, I'll be back. Y'all can
Well, it's not to mention all the other fraud that's going on in state, local, and federal governments all across the nation. And it's always been going on. This state, federal, and local fraud isn't something that's new. This is what happens when you have governments. Government is fraud. Government is a lie. Government or the state is that great fiction by which everyone seeks to live at the expense of everyone else. So according to Bastiat, and that was back in the 1800s, everybody knows what government is. Everybody knows what government officials do, but we want to live in this pie-in-the-sky fiction, this fake story that there's representatives. They go to a land called Washington, D.C., and they go to bat for us. And they try to secure our freedoms. They protect our freedoms. They protect the money supply. They do the exact opposite. They protect themselves to the detriment of us. They create systems where there are policies that put into place things in organizations and people like the Zio International Banking Cartel and the domestic terror cell known as the IRS. Think about it. The government has its own tactical domestic terror system and organization called the Internal Revenue Service, where with the barrel of a government gun, they force you out of the product of your time and labor and energies. And I'm going to play a couple of clips from people who act like they're serious about, a tax revolt, but we've heard this kind of thing before. We don't need a tax revolt. We need people to stop believing in the church called government, the God called government. Remember, before I play these clips, the government is the idea that some people have the right to rule others. A few people have the right to rule you, and you have the obligation to obey their rulership, or in the eyes of those rulers, you should be rightly punished. If you don't give us a percentage of the wealth that you created, we get to steal it from you. And if you try to keep it for yourself, we get to point a gun at you and threaten you and cuff you and kidnap you and throw you into a cage. And we're going to use you as an example to all the other tax houses. That's the thing. People even call themselves taxpayers. They've so thoroughly deceived Americans that Americans refer to themselves as taxpayers. You might as well just call yourself said, this is no longer the American that I recognize. They've only been like, they lied to us back in 1913 so they can bring online the better banking cartel, the Federal Reserve, so that they can dilute our money supply, so they can start creating counterfeit banknotes for all of us to use, all of us peons, all the tax cattle.
I wish I could watch Sassy the Sasquatch, but if I play that show, I'll probably get like, I'll try it. This is gonna suck. This part of this experiment is going to suck. I'm not gonna be able to, you know. This is all I do. This is what I do all day, every day. This is what I do. Except, you know, up until today without, you know, this fucking stupid camera on me. But this is what I do. And I'm not lonely. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. And I don't know. I guess probably, you know, my aloneness could be considered by some to be pathological. But I have yet to feel any negative impact by it. I think, because I've been this level of alone here in this room since 2020. Now, from 20 to 22, I did have my best girlfriend Teddy, but she passed away in 22. I think it was foul play, but you know they said it was an overdose. I don't know. Y'all, oh, she breathes so hard. You know, in the 80s, it was a thing for men to call the house and breathe heavy. We called them heavy breathers. Just people, you'd answer the phone and it would be a heavy breather. Which I guess the heavy breather was, in essence, a voyeur. Just an ear voyeur, right? Because, you know, just the whole heavy... After, you know, it had been done enough for everyone to find out it was being done, you know, obviously, little kid, like kids my age, would, you know, we would prank call people and do the heavy breathing. But the heavy breathing, I think, was started by real voyeurs calling up places and like letting the person who answered the phone listen to them, you know, climax, right? Like that's how that got started, right? I mean, I never like, thought about the workings of it until right now, but yeah. This is what I was talking about earlier. Yes.
You're not paying your taxes voluntarily. They're taken from you. If you don't give them up, you're going to jail. Past 30 years. And if you don't believe me, look up everything that you have that is taxed. State income tax, federal income tax,
I didn't become aware of, until recently, of the whole, you know, probably because I don't own anything, but the property tax. Like, so what the property tax pretty much says is that nobody ever owns their own home. Nobody ever gets to own a home outright. You don't. You just get tricked into you know, like paying to believe you're paying to believe the lie that you actually own the thing that you think you own. But you know what happens? What happens if somehow something happens and this happens literally all the time when people get old, they can't pay, or they, you know, the tax comes due and and then they lose what they thought they owned. That, like that, all caps, that? Come on, man. Like you, like when I'm all the music videos and stuff on this channel that I made like a decade ago, I used making because I paid for Photoshop. Like the first time it was just like Photoshop, regular photo editor, but then the second time, and that was $300, and then the second time I think it was almost 400. That was in 2011. I paid for Photoshop Elements too, like all the whole. It was expensive. I have the serial numbers for both the programs, but now I can't. Adobe won't even let me. Like when I get a new computer, I can't go to Adobe anymore and get and be able to download what I bought. Like and I paid for it. I could still go to the Adobe website and get my serial numbers, but I can't ever download it again. They would like like what? Those arbitration agreements that we have to sign for everything, and by the the terms and conditions. That's an arbitration agreement that we're signing, and nobody they make those things as long and wordy with legalese as they can, so that you won't go read it. And even if you did go read it, it requires a modicum of being able to know what all these legal terms are, which is it's a separate language. It really is. And but you're when you sign, there's no effing telling what we're giving away in those agreements. And once you sign it, because if they these arbitration courts that if you try to sue for like against the company that made you force you to sign the agreement, if you try to sue them back, you don't get to do it in a regular court. They literally these they made specialized courts to do arbitrations, and the rules of that court, it's a clown show, man. Nobody ever gets to win. If you sign the agreement, you arbitration agreements are probably the mark of the beast. I mean, besides, ooh, I'm gonna get hated for this. Besides Christianity, as we know it in this country, actually globally, I think that is the Antichrist. Everybody's worried about it. Or yeah, because here's the thing: enough people in the world believe in the biblical end times evaluation, and look, people since the beginning of time have always thought, we must be living in the end times, because evolution isn't like easy to go through, and I don't think that when evolution is the grinds are actually turning in evolution. I don't think. Well, I know that people don't realize evolution is what's happening, and that's why everything is. Oh, it's so difficult and hard, and it's evolution. Evolution is, it's an upward climb. It's not downstream at all. All right, that thought just flew. Which makes me think about, okay, so Gen Z now, and social media, and it's not just Gen Z, it's all of us all of us are doom scrolling. That's what we're doing, and yeah, probably all of us do. It is causing all of us to have the attention span of a goldfish, but that's not That's not the end game. Yeah, okay. So we all do have the attention span of a goldfish right now. But you know what else is happening? Evolution. And what's happening is our brains are being remapped and rewired to be able to function within the confines of having the attention span of a goldfish, which to me means pretty much like this is how we're evolving to be able to think like the AI think, right? Just saying. We are the AI, we just don't know it yet. See, he's like, okay, so like, if I had $1 for every time I went into somebody's comment section and said we can't, there's no voting our way out of this, like, I would have a lot. I would have at least $100, right? Maybe more. Yeah, I've been saying that for a long time, especially whenever in the election last year. I'm just like, come on, guys. Y'all act like there's gonna be like a difference. We're voting in something new. No, we're not. That's not happening. That's not what's happening.
I agree. Nothing is going to happen about the fraud because government is fraud.
Mm.
Congressmen and senators and presidents are fraudsters. They're all con men. You know what?
Okay, that just made me think about. Okay, you want to talk about? All right, I don't want to call that dude by. I don't want to say his name. It starts with the E. You know, all that stuff. Okay. Anyone, and I finally quit commenting this like a year or two ago because just nobody's hearing me. Like, okay, like high level blackmail, there's blackmail, and then there's high level blackmail, and I think really all blackmail is probably it's pretty much, high level blackmail because that's the only way really you can do it well. Anyway, so if I was the world's foremost uh, S like trafficker, I'm gonna say it like that, and I had video evidence of every one of them, all of them, like doing whatever, and if you don't think I already know that you want to unalive me, I already know that, and I've already taken care of that, which is the whole point of the blackmail. I got the blackmail first and foremost to protect me. So go ahead. If you just know, if you unalive me or you put me in prison, tapes are going to fall from the sky. Like anybody, you wouldn't even get to that status if you didn't have the forethought when you started this to have drop spots all over the globe. If we can fly the Lolita here and there a million times a month, you better believe I have got drop spots over the entire world. So yeah, you can unalive me, you can, but when you do that, you'll just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get the title of the, the most historical blackmailer ever without having done that. Like, and I don't know what is it about that people aren't understanding. That dude is allegedly in my head, that dude ain't dead. I don't know where he is. Probably Greenland, if I had to guess. And probably don't like it there. The weather there is pretty nasty. It's funny because Greenland is the one in ice, And Iceland is the one in green, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's how that goes. Oh my god.
Like, I know, like, Patriot. You know, the Patriot Act was about the most unpatriotic thing that could happen to America.
Like, right, okay, so yeah, that. Patriot Act, that was, what, 2003? 2000, like, I was there for that. Remember, I said I voted one time in 96. This is so embarrassing, but I voted, but it goes to show how echo chambers work. So I grew up in a Fox News watching racist dad having household. And like, so I voted for Bob Dole. I think mostly probably I did because at the time Saturday Night Live was doing these Norm Macdonald skits where he would because Bob Dole had that one hand that wouldn't open, and Norm Macdonald did the funniest ass Bob Dole that you ever would see. Anyway, and so I got in the booth and knowing nothing except what I had uh, been shown in my reality. Like I didn't. I don't even remember who the other person running was, but it didn't. Like I said, it didn't take long after that just to, huh? Like 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 what? Like in 2001, that thing that happened. Like what? Huh? Oh, this is weird.
It's freaking my life. The blue shirts of the TSA, the $10 billion a year TSA, Department of Homeland Security, what do they believe the tax count for? $70 billion every year? What about NASA? $69 billion a day they steal from us to keep NASA going and all the lies that come out of NASA?
They supposedly closed NASA down like several years ago. Like it was a thing. It was a thing. I'm probably like reposted a video or two about it. What? 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 And then also a few years later, it was a thing that was going around that NASA collects more taxpayer. Anyway, like NASA. Like, what? Whether or not they're big sending people to the moon or not, that like right now, you need to just like probably Anyway, I'm not. Everybody knows.
You want money? He isn't a fraudster. He's one of the biggest welfare recipients. He's one of the recipients of American socialism, one of the biggest multi-billion dollars. How many tax dollars were stolen to Elon Musk?
I think I was Elon Musk's Lyft driver in 2022. And it was weird. And look, after I don't feel like where's my uh, yeah, I don't feel like telling that story yet right now. Well, it was before he was just like a household name. It was right at the time when he was becoming that, but he wasn't all the way there yet. At least not in any households. Or, yeah. Like this whole oh
Like this. Why is everybody shocked that Trump turned out to be the charlatan we all knew he was? Look how comes at us with a Trump 25 hat. This guy's one of these guys who just spent their lives to get Trump into office, and now he realizes, I've got the second worst thing in the
oh,
first.
and I mentioned this about the whole blackmail thing. Just because you didn't join a pack or take money or take bribe money, that doesn't mean they're not blackmailed. Because here's the thing, that I'm sure all these government people, who probably most of them were chomping at the bit to become corrupt anyway. That's probably why a lot of people just get in. I don't know. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. I hate how I do that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, it's not just monetary blackmail. If like you don't take the money, then what? There's gonna be like well, I know you love your daughter, your little boy, your son-in-law. I know you. Oh boy, I'd hate for something to happen to him. You see, like it's just I don't, and I'm not trying. I feel like when I say this, I'm giving the government, and I'm talking everyone in the government. I'm talking. You don't even get to enter the atmosphere, even as an aide or just staff, without submitting your tape, man. It's just how that ship works, and obviously, as we can all see, it's worked very well for them. It is it's worked amazingly for them, swimmingly, in fact. I mean, but yeah, yeah, and I still feel like I just cut all these congressmen and what senators some slack when that's mm-mm. Yeah, because they know. I mean, like that they should have resigned. If that happened, I would just resign. I would just resign. Okay, so yeah, all right, I'm taking my slide back. Go fuck yourselves. Why are you even having to make a video to ask that question? What's taking so long? What? You know? And so all these dudes in this video that's being these clips of these TikTokers, they're trying to like I said, they're like this. No, everybody they're saying they're not going to pay their tax. Yes, they are. Watch. I don't know. Like when the rubber meets the road on April 15th. They're come. Are you though? Or are you just gonna do wait and see? Is it gonna be a clown show? Okay. I'm tired of doing this stream. I don't like. I don't know what time it is. I can look at my phone. Oh, it's 442. And like you don't know this, so I'll tell you that is that's two of my numbers right there. Some would say it's a synchronicity, and I would say you're right. All coincidence is synchronicity. In my universe. And I've got several of those. So do you. Because time doesn't exist. You know that, right? That's just a made up thing that literally has its own whole dimension too. Because that's the fourth one. That's why I don't get the 4D chess analogy too much. Because I think I'm pretty sure the fourth dimension is time. Which I have seen some cartoon simulations of how to visualize the fourth dimension, and it's always like like kind of black hole fun illustrations, which makes sense because I think the black holes or the portals or the wormholes or the time machines, right?
This was a element going through, right? Exposed all the underlying conditions. So I think we've set the stage for the electoral movement starting in the times. And it really shows you.
Yes, I do sit around and watch. And look, I'm embarrassed that I do this too. You can laugh at me.
How
It's,
little credit.
I don't know. Like, I have, I have cut back on a lot of them. Any of the real doomy gloomy ones, I don't participate in because of the fact that we absolutely create our reality with our beliefs, which become thoughts, or thoughts which become beliefs. I think they're just one is the other, and the other is the one. Because if you can think it, it's like how like that. It wouldn't, and that wouldn't that be heaven? Also hell.
Donald Trump's the split is not just about Israel. Next one comes just when Dialogue Works to give us the latest on the MAGA Civil War, the script that's tearing the right up in terms of the
MAGA Civil War. Like, okay, so what the MAGA Civil War is the entire like the whole national Civil War, which is what's get that's a component. You know, it's a plan, like a multi-point plan. But anyway, yeah. Well, once and they keep that's why the people who created this they named it the MAGA Civil War. They named it that for a reason. Words mean things.
and he believes that it goes deeper than Israel, that Israel's part of it, but there's more to it than that. So I'm interested to see what he has to say, see if we agree or not. So let's watch.
That country that he just named. They are. They are. I don't know how to say it. I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait until that thought comes up again in a different way that I can articulate because I can't. You know.
Israel is one of the major issues that's splitting conservatives, and it's a generational split. Look at the relationship
I
between.
was wondering how I was gonna handle this like camera on thing because I had ideas but I wasn't sure. I was pretty sure that I would not be engaging, which, yeah, it's too soon.
Nikki Haley, who was Trump's ambassador to South Carolina, total neocon, won president, and was rejected by the Republican base, supports her message to Israel during the 2000 genocide was finish them. She signed Israeli House, which therefore required the civilian victims in Gaza. But she wasn't the only one either. Josh Shapiro signed bonds, essentially.
What I'm waiting on, I'm waiting. My prediction for 26 is people are finally going to start talking about frazzle drip again. That's going to be hilarious when the deep dive start on that. But I mean, I'm talking about the ones where, yeah. I hope I hope we get there before they turn off the internet. That's getting me so. I mean, like, I know, funny in a sad way, but you know.
Status.
Good thing like death isn't real and we don't die.
Living standards in the U.S. are declining, and yet the U.S. military budget continues to go up. So the country is not. At TVUSA, Ben Shapiro delivered his 20 minutes featuring mainly an attack on Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. He was speaking for Donald Trump and J.D. Vance to some extent. It was also an attack on Nick Clinton.
Okay, and like, come on, guys. When Charlie Kirk named Turning Point USA, he knew that it was, he knew, like, because these are things, like, especially, I've seen all these videos of him, like, expressing all the foreknowledge he had and how great Turning Point was going to be. So he, obviously, when he named it, he knew that it was going to end up being called TP USA. I mean, this is like, and I know he talked about it. You gotta know he talked about it. Like when he was choosing the name and trademarking the name. Like, is it? What I mean, this is like, was he thinking out loud or to himself? People gonna call this toilet paper. I mean, right? Like he, you know, he thought that. He had to have. There's no way out of that. He did it anyway. Why? Because it was on purpose. It's part of the fucking. I like psyop. It's a cute word, but I like mindfuck. The mindfuck, because that's a better description of what a psyop is. This is what I was thinking. Like, I've been like this thought pops up a lot lately, but everybody is so cool. Like we have normalized just using the c word, like, you know, kind of Like we've just normalized using that word just you know in Walmart, just wherever on just it's like it doesn't like I remember the time when you heard that word said, it was kind of one of these reactions, right? And then after a few more years pass and I found myself, when I get real mad, don't make me mad enough to call you the C word, because when you're mad and you say that word, it just like it just flows, and like especially when you're angry, right? It just does, and then it's just so bombastic and yeah. But now everyone is just it's just like a regular word now, just a regular word, and so there's no more cuss words left if they're all nothing shocking about them. So, and everybody makes fun of Gen X and their Sigma Skibbity Whiz 6-7 stuff. They're just making us new cuss words because we've done run out of cuss words, right? Somebody needs to do it. Thank God for Gen Z. We just don't know their cuss words yet. It'll come. It'll happen, right? Like, or are we just leaving the whole era of cuss words? Like, because either the world is either shifting or annihilated. One or the other, right? It's got to be one or the other, or probably both. It's probably all of them. Probably both.
Never Trumpers in the campaign season of 2016 said we'll never support Donald Trump. Why? Because Trump's rhetoric was actually fairly non-interventionist. He called the Iraq War a big fat lie. At one point early in Trump's campaign, he actually said, we should be neutral in the wars in the Middle East. Now, at some point in 2016, he did get roped in by the Israel lobby. He came out stronger in support of Israel. But at one point, his rhetoric was actually pretty good in terms of foreign policy, saying we should get out of NATO. That's not what neocons and Israel for a Zionist like Benjamin Bureau want. Well, guess what happened? Trump was totally co-opted by the neocons and by the Zionists.
Co-opted? Is that the right? Is that the right word? Co-opted? Wait, huh? I don't think anything done with the parameters in a pre-written plan can be actually be freaking co-opted. They're all in on it. They're all in on it. Everybody's in on it. They're all in on it. Now we're all in on it. Everybody's in on it now. We're getting to that space. And I'm just like trying to figure out how this is gonna go. And I don't think and I guess it should be, thanks to the goldfish attention span in the echo chamber bubble living, that people or just straight up fear. Because to ask that question and literally just, come up with the best real answer to that you can, it's scary because you have to look at probably all of the possible results, and you also this is would require moving out of your bubble, your echo chamber, because you can only do that if you have all of the, you have to know, like, you have to know what you have to know what your enemy is thinking and doing, and what, you got to know all that, or you're just basic if you don't. It's, it's so unserious. How could, like, I wouldn't want, if I needed to hire somebody to do a thing, I wouldn't hire anyone, who was, anyway, that thing doesn't come back, so I'm.
Yemen this term, he started a new war with Iran that he promised to continue to aid Netanyahu's desire to continue it with U.S. resources, and he wants to enact regime change there, as Netanyahu has clamored for since I was essentially a young lad. That's what you're getting out of this administration, and Ben Shapiro and Lindsey Graham and Randy Fine have steered Trump in this direction. They've successfully managed his ego and steered him in the neo-con direction.
Part of me wants to look over at my phone and see if, like, there's actually people watching this, and then the other part of me is like, what if there are? You're gonna freak out and you're gonna turn it off, and probably right. So, like, is that an original thought, or am I, like, people are always saying, like, wake up, like, remember who you are. Like, if you're anywhere, even on the fringe of any kind of spiritual type of lane, you're gonna hear that being said. Like, wait, just remember who you are. Like, okay, but nobody ever fleshes that out. Like, like, what does that even look like? And I think that this is what it looks like. This is it. Because if I believe, like, if time doesn't exist, and it doesn't, it's a construct, then everything is happening right now. And that's a big thought. You can like, say that thought and think you believe, but no, that thought, to really internalize that thought, it takes some mental gymnastics, and it's just, you can't just be like, oh yeah, time doesn't exist, and like it, like, be true for you. I don't know how to say this, so I'm gonna stop trying. You don't have to lick that loud, Sue. Hey, you don't have to go at it so hard.
It's neo-con hate all over. It's exactly well. So, whether Ben Shapiro is popular or not, he's lost a lot of popularity with his numbers and his podcast is declining. He's still speaking on behalf of some very powerful voices, and it really shows you how
Like, all these people's numbers are declining. Look at, like Rogan's losing, like, and Shapiro's losing, and the reason why they're losing is because we're reaching that point where it's just no longer comfortable anymore to even pretend like we believe this thing that we keep saying, but we know, we've seen the proof, and so we're like, oh my god, all those people have probably seen the same proof that I've seen, so, like, oh, I feel like I'm looking stupid because I keep on, like, saying I believe this thing that I know that I really don't believe, and probably they, you know what I'm saying? So it's all of it, it's just a clusterfuck, and it's coming, the chickens are coming home to roost. I'm here for it. It's just so, like, it's funny. So at this, and also, like, you gotta just be in yeah, probably now is not the best time to just be a cynical pessimist, which is That cynical pessimist should be my middle name because I've always been a cynical pessimist. It's like life is more interesting when you're a cynical pessimist. But maybe I'm only saying that because I've never. Okay, well, I'm starting to like in the past year or two, like getting out of that. But whatever. I'm gonna bite you. Ah, ah, I'm gonna bite you. Don't double foot me. You can't double foot me. Don't do double. Don't lick my hands. Don't do that. Like, ah, ah. Like, get up in bed. You can't. You're getting white hair all over my bed. Stop. Mm-mm. I got on black pants too. Come on, go. Ooh, get off my bed. Go. Okay, you just lay there, but I don't want to play. I don't want to do that. You can't on me either. There's no humping. Go. Come on, man. Your dad wasn't a glass maker. I can't see through you. Come on. Look, you're paralyzed. You're paralyzed. You're paralyzed. You got to scratch. You can't help it. You have to. You have to do that. Ah, you're paralyzed. All right, come on. Get up in bed. I love you, but get out of my bed. No, you're distracting. And look, I already see that look in your eye. Teenage boy dogs are something. Mm-hmm.
Well, credibility, Donald Trump's America First brand has left. Because you have a figure like Ben Shapiro, who was a never-Trumper early on in the first Trump term, who left the outlet right party because they were pro-Trump. And now he's the standard bearer of the Trumpist establishment. Then you have figures like Tucker Carlson, who was one of the first avatars of the America First brand, who spoke at the Republican convention in 2024, was always very close to Trump and he's a close friend with J.D. Vance. And he is like spoken and fast with USA. He's not really welcome in the White House anymore. In many ways, he's kind of seen as an enemy because he's criticized Trump. He's seen as an enemy by Ben Shapiro. Trump himself doesn't comment that much on Tucker. They did, I think, something of a spat over the Iran war because Tucker Carlson was saying, don't get involved in another war in Iran and actually criticize that. And Tucker's been very critical of many of Trump's policies, the Epstein cover-up, the FBI's handling of that, etc. But he doesn't usually take it personally to criticizing Trump, so I don't know if this is right that he's not welcome in the White House anymore. Actually, Tucker Carlson, when speaking about this recently, said he's on good terms with Trump. Take that for what you will. But it is true that Ben Shapiro was the push, the very right's top guy out of the picture.
Oh, and look. Oh, wow. Don't get me started on the. This is what. Okay, this is circling back to like something I was gonna say earlier, and then I stopped myself. But anyway, this Nick Fuentes Groyper element, which I guess that's the other side of the MAGA Civil War, right? You got two. So let's break this down. So you got the MAGA Civil War composed of the Groypers is the mainly a side of that, and then the diehard Trumps, which that's got at this point that's got to be all like boomers and the Pakistani bot farms, right? Like this. I don't think the diehard MAGAs exist in any type of way except being a paid influencer who's doing, they're getting paid per post by these either outright or by these signing up for these bounties. Like, right? Oh, this is the other thing I want to say. I think at the end of the day, like, that blue and white state is, they're also the Goypers. We just don't know it yet. I think that is who, that those are the true founders of the Goypers. Now, if you listen to the Goypers, their rhetoric is going to make you think, oh, that they hate the J word, right? Mm-mm. That, 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 yeah. They're all the same team. And they're all, and like, and can I say this? They're also the same team as the DNC. But they're all gonna be like, I didn't say, I guess, leftists, all of this controversy, they've grouped, and I guess that's how they did it, because they had to make, you have to give everybody a label. Like, you can't be an American without your box of labels. So we can, you know, put you in a group. And that's literally like the thing that I have like rebelled against just my entire life. My oldest daughter loves to call me a contrarian. The first time she did it, I was like, hold on, I gotta Google that word. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. But it's always for good reason. I think, to, like, you know, intelligent requires a certain level of being a contrarian. How else do you learn if you're not a contrarian? Now, the level of the cynicism that fuels your, I don't know, it's something to think about.
Various theories around Charlie Kirk's death, and they're being used to the extent that she's unable to provide evidence. They're being used to discredit her by figures like Ben Shapiro. I mean, Fred was kind of off on his own, attacking everybody. He had this so-called generational run, which seems to be very coordinated and sequenced through all of the top right-wing podcasts. He sat down with Tucker. He sat down with Candace.
Okay, like, I gotta show y'all this other guy's face because he's trying too hard to look. Oh, I can't. I don't feel like it. Gonna have to look. Wow. Whoever likes this, thank you for that. Wow. I accidentally just saw that. Wow. I've never gotten 4 likes in a bit. Wow. Tucker, he's in on the gag. All in on it. It's, you know, everybody knows Tucker's dad. Like, once you are CIA, that means once you're CIA, your entire family is CIA. And once any of you are CIA, there's no, like, you never hear when you see anyone talking that like, their label is never ex-CIA. There's no such thing. That is a thing that does not exist. And if you have seen it, I would love to know where. But I'm pretty sure, I guess they do say former CIA. Okay, they do. I do this in my head, like, what, former. I automatically, like, try to, it's not an anagram, it's, I forgot the word for it, but anyway, what word was I just thinking about? Modern is the same. Hold on. Damn, that word I just said a second ago. This is. It's about to
On
all.
stage at their event during the summer, that there was lies in terms of Benjamin Netanyahu selectively taking, one sentence from Charlie Kirk's letter to him, the last one to him, in a letter that otherwise is basically saying that you can't defend this genocide anymore on college campuses. We're getting our asses handed to us. That is evidence that she presented that they still attacked her over. Now, Nick Fuentes, indeed, he is generally swallowed that FBI narrative on the Charlie Kirk assassination. Basically questions any of the angles to the assassination.
Okay, and like that, I don't know if you heard that or not, but that is exactly why, how you know that even Nick Fuentes is one of them, and the whole FBI narrative is also like. It's a clown joke.
That is true. That is playing as a dynamic of this.
Everybody knows the FBI narrative on the Charlie Kirk thing is bullshit, right? Okay, so and everyone is as if they're not already, they're to that point that I'm talking about that humans get to who just are die hard for this is what until you get there's that tipping point where they're like, oh shit, there's no running away from this fact, and I know everybody else knows it, but nobody's really saying it. And I'm, gosh, they just don't like. They know they're just gonna look stupid unless they're getting paid to make the post. Then once worse. Even if it's $300 or $400, even if it's $100, you know what I mean? Because if it's $100, you're like, golly, I just have to make 9 more of these and I get 1,000. Like, nothing is real anymore. That's why this experiment is going to be so fun, because I just really feel like this climate, this part of the ocean that we're swimming in, people want to see something real. Even the funny short videos on YouTube, they all suck now because they're all AI, and you don't have to lick that loud, son. Can you sound less sloppy? I don't know if that's YouTube legal or not. Whatever. Like, how long did like this whole giving Erica Cart time to grieve space that everyone on that team came out so hard in the beginning, about that's how all the memes got started about. Everyone grieves differently and this and that and all, but finally everyone got to that point, that thing I'm talking about, where they were like, as much even the one, and this also includes the one making the money per post. You know that they're they're embarrassed. But I think how they're squaring it in their heads is they're like, because this is, if it was me and I was taking the money per post for spreading like this stupid crap, when I know that everyone knows it's not true, right? Then I would just the way I think I would square it is being like, they know I'm just doing this for the money, right? Like everybody, y'all know. Come on, I know that my subs know that I'm just doing this for the money. They gotta know that, right? So it's okay, right? But meanwhile, they think that they're so like, and then that's another element to all of this. Meanwhile, they're so absorbed in their popularity in themselves that maybe they maybe they don't. They just know they're gonna get the likes anyway. But that's what 26 is here. 26 is here to remove all those likes. Like, and so how is that gonna flesh out? That's so fun to think about. Or not fun. Actually, it's scary if you think about it to all of its different ways it could end. It's that sucks. That sucks.
Disappears from society for months. And then Erica Kirk, and they'll show 60-year-old Madonna working a pole on stage, or a woman shooting fireworks.
Uh,
I just thought, like,
ah!
mocking Erica Kirk. Yeah, they are. And the thing that gets
And like, who's to say that everyone like this isn't like so completely scripted? All of this that even the creators who were mocking Erica Kirk with the fireworks coming out of her butt, they weren't in on it too, and they knew this would happen, and then they knew that they could do this and just suck up all this revenue. Like, where's the it all end and begin, and like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody knows anymore, and nobody's gonna find out until just everyone takes their mask off. Just take your fucking mask off.
this to me is the fact that, hey, I didn't make her the CEO of Turning Point USA. She was made the CEO of Turning Point USA. Well, is she a widow? That her husband was murdered on display for all of us. Yeah, that was a public.
Can I just like she watched the
Assassination of Charlie Kirk. But guess what? Once you're made the CEO and then you weigh into these things, and then you come out and
Alright, I'll take it for a second back. My goofy and stuff. I'm not. Let me take it. me take you out. You gotta go pee. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on, crazy train. some in there.
My wife said, "You win, we'll fly to Asia. If I win, we'll fly to Paris. And then we'll get home and just tie she walking before Christmas."
Come out in major
Even all the commercials are out of touch. Oh my god. That thing's just.
number 2 or number 3 in the country, and you're saying, I want you
Get
to
it while you
stop
can.
questioning the FBI narrative, stop talking about alternative angles to its death, etc. It just doesn't work that well with someone that forgave on stage the killer of her husband something like 10 or 11 days after he was murdered. I'm sorry, you can forgive that in 10 days, but also imply that digging into this thing and seeing that there are layers of truth beyond the FBI.
I think one of the, like, when a person can learn to drink without getting drunk, that's magic.
Narrative, and that is unforgivable, at least the implication.
And it also gets boring.
Is there that's unforgivable? It just doesn't comport to reality for me, and she deserves Chris.
And then it becomes like just like running dialogue in my head, like, why do you even drink if you know you're not going to get drunk? And so my response to that is every now and then I'm able to. So there's your answer.
Some of that. As the CEO of Turning Point, you put yourself in a public persona at this point, and you're opening yourself to that kind of criticism. What was that?
Just keep trying. Like, I've never been a quitter. Lazy, but no quitter.
Doing on stage at TGSA, she was having like a friendly sit down with Nicki Minaj, one of the trashiest figures.
Friendly sit down.
Who's now basically, it looks like some Trump crony billionaire bought her, and she's on stage making the case for Trump's military assault on Nigeria, which is obviously a play to plunder Nigeria's oil and oil wealth. That is what she appeared to be doing there, talking about the prosecution of Christians in Nigeria, which, as far as I'm concerned, could be true. I've explored that issue deeply, but it was a propaganda campaign to accept a new military strike in Nigeria on Christmas, which Trump did, and is unforgivable. If you want to really get into the weeds of this thing, look at how many new wars are being amplified by propaganda tactics like this, getting Nicki Minaj at Turning Point USA with Erica Kirk to sell this nonsense. It's just totally absurd. And Erica Kirk's right there, and I said this on our last stream last week in the Grey Zone, that if somebody blew my head off, a Ukrainian Nazi blew my head off, or some Zionist maniac shot me during a public event, my wife, Anya, she wouldn't be doing a sit-down event with a trashy rapper just a few months later with pyrotechnic displays. I can be sure of that. She wouldn't even be doing a sit-down with a crappy SoundCloud rapper. It just wouldn't be happening. So this is not a normal person.
Oh, I'm a crappy SoundCloud rapper.
And raised a lot of questions about the marriage to begin with. Maybe it does. I mean, what I would say is I do buy the idea that people do grieve
I'm a crappy YouTube rapper too.
with the sequins dresses,
Check the tapes.
Nicki Minaj interview, and stop coming up with conspiracy theories. You know, your husband actually blasted people that overuse and misapply the idea of conspiracy theories because guess what? A lot of them came true. Whatever you want to say about Charlie Kirk, he himself questioned the whole nut narrative when it came
There I go. I'm not like paying attention to anything I'm hearing. And I had a good thought to think out loud, but I forgot it.
the JFK's assassination. There's video out there of that. So for her to come out and be like, stop, like that's unforgivable. But your husband's killer, that can be forgiven at times. I'm sorry, it just doesn't meet the threshold of skepticism that we would have about something like that. But it's turning off masses of people, and TPUSA is supposed to be the base. It's made out to vote out.
You know, I think the entirety of hardcore MAGA are, they're not, it's not even real. I think they're all bots, if I'm being honest. I've thought about this thought. I've thunk this thought a lot. Because this, my X feed is just, it's like you need some like different kind of floaties to like stay alive. Anyway, I hate like hopefully politics is so I guess divisive and destructive to maybe I'm ready to turn this camera on.
Left J.D. Vance is supposed to be shooting for the nomination. But J.D. Vance isn't a shooter because he's considered too close to Tucker Carlson. And the Jewish supremacist wing.
So like my life is boring, no? It's like this is what I do. Oh, I recently I learned the net, so like I am doing this. I'm at a pause with that right now because I have to go on my other YouTube channel that I only use for knitting videos and figure out how to cast off, do a cast off.
Who assassinated Charlie Kirk? Let's assume it was Tyler Robinson. Let's assume it was possibly a trans flirt. We thought that Charlie Kirk was an anti-trans figure. They actually removed one of the most prophetic figures from the right, and the right is now in total disarray. It's almost like the assassination of Yitzhak Rabin, where it totally destroyed the
Yitzhak Rabin. Okay, so like I remember in 2009 when I made that Netanyahu post, and that, what also had to do is they were doing something with Iran because I had to keep looking up how to spell Ahmadinejad, who was the president of Iran at the time of I don't even remember what it was that happened that I was posting about, but back then, okay, so here's the thing. Back then, I knew that it looked like they were looking to try to get us in a war with because Russia was involved in some type of way, and then I ended up like vouching for Ahmadinejad because what I did, even though I didn't find the scope of the blue and white crimes. Whatever it was, I should probably look this up before I talk about it because I don't remember what it was. But I remember I kept having to keep Googling the name Ahmadinejad so I wouldn't spell it wrong when I was posting about it. But and I was also making, like when I said Russia, bringing up posts because I was back then. I was saying we don't want to get into a war with Russia. We cannot beat Russia. I was saying that back then. You know, and I remember this because I remember, making this part of my post. Just if we go to war with Russia, we're also going to war with China, and China's standing just their women's army, just the women's military alone is bigger than all four of the branches. At least back then it was. I don't know. And back then, the military, our military numbers were much higher. But anyway, I have a family member who he works for he retired, but he worked for naval intelligence as a. He never said it this way, and he never talked about it. But from what I could heard from the family, yeah, and he did. He lived. You know, he works at the Pentagon. Anyway, he was a Russian spy. He graduated from Emory University, and which I didn't do it then, but now I do. I'm wondering how did you get that job with the State Department? You know. So easily, what is there about my family that they've not made me aware. And anyway, so back then I knew we can't beat we can't beat Russia. That's why we don't fight Russia, because we know we can't beat Russia. But here's the thing, Russia's in on it too. They're all in on it. They're just the east side of the of the chessboard. And it's so funny is because all of the countries in this geopolitical storm that are forced to declare their nuclear capabilities The only one who doesn't is the blue and white country, right? And so it's ironic or unironic, I don't know which one, probably both, that it's going to be them who nukes the world. The ones we didn't force to comply with the, I forgot the acronym of the nuclear council or treaty or whatever the hell that is. But anyway, yeah, they're the only ones who aren't regulated, who don't have to, like, that's insane. Oh, I should probably.
Was accused of encouraging a firing his widow. Remember Netanyahu had to twice denounce the movies that
I could be really good as a pundit, I think,
he always has some kind of
if I wasn't so lazy.
assassination. But this was a powerful book where like exposed all the underlying conditions. Yeah, it certainly did in so many ways. He talked about the assassination of Yitzhak Rabin right then, and Netanyahu.
Oh yeah, it's Zachary Bean. Yeah, that's why I said that to begin. You know, my brain just. And now I'm about to do it again because now this has got me thinking about when my son was in the first grade. He told me that, in class, the teacher asked a question and he raised his hand to answer, and he stuttered, and so the teacher said, told him to spit it out. And when my baby told me that that's what that teacher said, I can't remember whether I brought him to the doctor first to find out if he was retarded or what the deal was, or whether it was after I threatened the teacher. I can't remember which happened first. But what the doctor told me was that that's a smart person thing, especially as a child. Like, the thoughts are running so fast that their muscles haven't yet developed their mouths can't keep up with the thoughts, and that's what causes the stuttering in many cases. But anyway, I ended up having to tell his dad. I was like, you can either, because anyway, I was like, you can either go and deal with this teacher, or I can, and probably, our son and you would probably, at the end of it all, probably be better if you do it, because you don't probably want me to do it. And the truth is, I'm not even sure whether he did it or not. He told me that he did, so I'm hoping that he did. But if I had gone, it just would have gotten so nasty, and then that would have ended up embarrassing my son, and but it really pissed me off. Tell him about spit it out. I got something you can spit out. Or you got something, it's called your teeth. How are you gonna get them out of your throat? Anyway, I used to be, pretty, not my whole life, but like from age 30 to 45, I was very contentious and aggressive. Very. Because I just learned how to be.
And also the idea that the Palestinian state actually did want to pursue that at one point in the 1990s. Well, he was assassinated by a diehard acolyte of Netanyahu. Netanyahu was accused of encouraging this. They had demonstrations carrying a coffin that said Rabin's name on it down the street because his political ambitions were to never allow Palestine.
That's right. They deleted Itzhak Rabin, and that was whatever the Facebook post was that I keep referring to. Something to do with that. Oh yeah, I think that they deleted him. He was the prime minister. I don't have my phone. You have my phone, but he was the prime minister of the blue and white country before Milikowski was.
Allow it, it's not on the table, and no matter what, the United States under Donald Trump bankrolls Israel no matter what. You can meet with Jonathan Pollard. You can greet him like a hero when he comes back to Israel. You can have your own secret
IAE. IAE. That's the name. That's the acronym for the nuclear thing that I couldn't remember earlier. It wasn't that I didn't know. I just didn't. It didn't come. It's the IAE. I think that's it. Pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Pain of things on the right, but I don't think that's the underlying issue of the schism. I do think Israel is the underlying issue of the schism, and the Israel first mentality that's still kind of in place, where there is under this coalition, which is now largely broken, that's straight
The
up
only reason that like any American has ever like had the just the forethought to be like, oh, blue and white country first is because of religious propaganda, which was absolutely instrumental in this all of this that's all of this um, act in this play. Because it's like Shakespeare, like he wasn't lying when he said all the world's a stage. I don't like there are rumors with credible facts to suggest that Shakespeare didn't even freaking exist. He was a made up character, which he probably was. The thing is, we don't know. Just like none of us that down here who aren't astronauts, if you're not one of those, you can never actually know whether we went to the moon or not, or whether the Earth is flat or not. And that's why, like, it's just silly to engage in those discussions when there's no way we can prove it. The only person that can prove it is either an astronaut or a billionaire. And what's the difference? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because even if an astronaut or a billionaire afforded you the chance as just a regular person to ride on a spaceship to the moon, how can any of us even know if they just paid you a lot of money to say it happened? Or like they're not like what? Like weird. Like this country, I think, and this is going on globally, we're at this point where like we're at the zero. We've been at the 0 point. I mean, I don't know a lot about 0 point, but what I do know about 0 point is that it exists in a very finite period of time. It will not exist forever, and it will break, and it's either going to go toop or it's going to go choop. It's going to go one way or it's going to go the other, and I think that's how it works. I researched this several years ago, but I think that's how it works. And I guess like flip of a coin, we don't know which way it'll go. And the truth is that it's probably going to go absolutely every way it can go, right? But the thing that you see, which plays out in your reality, is going to correlate with your own specific beliefs about whatever it is. Boom! Dropping bars.
Should the mega brand is kind of meaningless at this point, especially after covering up the Epstein files and the Epstein scandal that Trump decided to do for about 11 months. But at the deep underbelly of it, it was built on this coalition where there were neocon-oriented Zionists, on which to various degrees, and then on the other side, to various degrees,
I remember, like, when was it? Was it 24 or was it 20? I think it was 20. Was it? I don't remember which year it was when they sent all of those rich ladies in their like Dior blue suits to the edge of the I don't know. I'm just guessing the edge of the ionosphere. Is we like nobody leaves like that. But I do believe that you can get out as far as you can before you hit the fucking firmament, and the firmament's a real thing. But once you get close to that, yes, gravity does seemingly probably just disappear, right? And so it will look like you feel like you're probably in space, or does it? Or is all of that a lie? And like that's the thing. None of us can really know, right? Like I don't know. Like I don't like. It's easier to get struck by lightning twice than to be a billionaire, and it's probably easier to be struck by lightning once than to have a billionaire even. Right, probably the odds are higher than that. To have a billionaire look down upon you as anything but a slave, an intelligent slave, right? This world.
In its best ideals, where you don't just side with this Middle Eastern country over your own community, which is what we generally get in the United States. And that's what we've seen for Libya and Syria and Iraq. And now the Somalia bombing campaign, which again, Max is right about that too. It's gone above and beyond any other year of the bombings. Was it 2025 the most bombings of Somalia in a war that's gone?
Okay, so if all of these people, all of these podcasters, like that are now talking about trying to do this taxation boycott thing for 2026. Damn it, I forgot what I was going to say about that. It was good. It'll come back to me in a second, I guess.
For over 2 decades at this point. I do believe Israel is at the heart of this.
Oh yeah, they're just calling for everybody to not pay their taxes. And like, have y'all thought this through? Like, are y'all? Is any what it how like? Because you know that's a good plan. It is a very good plan, right? But it's not gonna work if there's no thought put into it. And right now, like I can't help but people who are making these videos that are gonna make that you'll hear about. If you haven't heard about it yet, you will. I can't help but to think that it's yet another fucking psyop. Like if we get I mean, how many bot farms in Pakistan would it take to convince Americans that this psyop is legit and not to pay, like, but then like the Hegelian dialectic, like problem, reaction, solution, like right, like oh my god, just everybody's gonna have to at some point you're gonna have to sit down and think all this shit through. But that's not how it's gonna work, and that's what the people who that's what our slave owners know. And they're hedging their hedge fund bets on us, like just reciprocating, just just awesome, just like, and look, I am the person who does. My whole life I've been operated from the seat of my pants. Is that how you would say it? Everything I've ever done. And I've been an international rock star twice. Check it out. I was the first person in the entire world to flip off my neighbor with Christmas lights on my roof. I did that. I ended up in federal court and I won. TYT. 10 years before I even knew who TYT was, they did a whole episode on me. Which I went through all kinds of, once I got into this, because I didn't start paying attention to politics at all until after the thing in 23, because I'm going on my TikTok feed and I'm seeing all this stuff about white phosphorus, and like, so I looked up, because I didn't know what, because they kept saying white phosphorus and a war crime, so I was like, what was it? At that time I didn't even know what a war crime was or white phosphorus, so I had to look them up both. And what white phosphorus is, apparently it's a war crime because just a dash of it, just a brisk dash of it on your skin burns down completely to the bone, then burns through the bone. And like, They're dumping it on these people? Like, what? What? And that's what, and like, the helplessness I felt about that, because, like, I wouldn't, like, I don't have any enemies that I know of. Certainly, I might be their enemy, but certainly I don't have any. I just don't, I'm too lazy, I don't care enough. But, like, having an enemy just takes a lot of, like, mental, um, just energy, call that, right? Like, nobody's that important that I gotta, make them an enemy so I have to think about them all the time. But, and now I forgot what I was saying. It'll come back, though. Just bear with me. Oh, yeah, I felt helpless, and I didn't, no, I've never believed in the two-party system, but I had to, but when I looked up what was happening, and I'm talking, like, it wasn't in, like, October 11th, I'm like, this is when the feeling helpless started, and I'm like, hold up, because, like, people think they're seeing the images now. Oh my God, no, when you go back to then that I'm talking about, oh my God, the videos and the pictures that I was being, like, shown, there's, like, no, like, no. Only a sociopath of some nature could look at these images and just be like, oh, and scroll to the next, no, right? But, that's exactly what happened, to be honest with you. Anyway, so I just, like, I felt like, okay, well, can I vote my way out of this out of white phosphorus, this thing happen? Can I vote? What can, like, I didn't know what to do, right? So that's when I went on to YouTube, and I'm like, just, and how I, like, and here I am. Now I'm a geopolitical strategist. I'm just joking. I'm a geopolitical, like, I strategize the de-strategiz. I can't say that word, de-strategization. Can you say that word? De-strat. Is that, wait, hold on. Strategizing. Wow, that's okay. I don't think anybody can say that. Try to put an ing on strategize. Try doing that. Strategizing. I don't know. If it wouldn't have been for that, there is absolutely no telling what my mind would be spun on. And, like, unfortunately, I kept, like, I've been waiting for it to all of that end. But what ended up happening was it just threw me down into this hole. Like I didn't realize how high the stakes were. Right? I knew all of it was fake. I did, and I've been apolitical, like, for the entirety of the 21st century up to that point. And no, I didn't. I still haven't voted again. But where do you, like, what do you do when like you don't like what's happening and what's being, like, what do you do? Like, how do you fix it? What are the like, why is this happening? Right? And so obviously, I guess being an American, like, okay, well, do I need to, like, call my representative or some shit? Like, I actually at that time, I just was like, maybe that'll work, right? Anyway.
Especially in its foreign policy apparatus, where you just have all these slaps in the face from Israel to the United States to the point that they can bomb another U.S. ally, Qatar, and there's no policy ramifications for it. Then they can violate a ceasefire that Trump ushered in.
Hey, hold on. Like, okay, and, like, that's us that like our greatest ally, they're not even literally a real, like, on paper ally. They're actually the opposite of that. There's, you would think that there would be some, document. No, we do have documented evidence of other nations. Like there's actually like papers that have been drawn up, like say between us and Great Britain, where it's like a, yeah, it's an allyship that ally is it allied ship, an ally, or is it an ally ship? Anyway, that you can go and look up, the corresponding like paperwork where people sign their names. Like, yeah, we are allies. I think it's called fucking NATO. I think that's what NATO's called. Jesus Christ. That's exactly what it is. It's all a scam. There's no part of any of this that's not a scam. That's making other, like, and like right now, they need this war to happen because they've already taken all the money and all the resources. They're gone. They're done. It's over with. Like, and how do the laymen with the pitchforks who are going to do this thing they started, like, okay, so we do all that, like, how do we get back the oil? How do we get, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, what's the process of us taking everything back over from the all these crooks and burglars? Like, what does that even look like? How does that even happen? Right? Like, oh my God. I don't see anybody, like, thinking this through, like, talking about it. Like, what, like, you know what I mean? And, like, conspiracies are conspiracies because the original, they've changed it now in the Webster's Dictionary, but I did look it up in 2010, and the definition of conspiracy is literally back then, and it's hard to find old dictionaries now. If you have one, keep it. It'll be worth money one day. But when you look up conspiracy, literally the definition, this isn't exactly what it said, but basically it said when two or more people get together to do a thing. That's what that is. But you look it up now. Look it up. Go look up the Webster definitions, and it's gonna talk about. It's gonna be like 9 miles long, and it's gonna talk about governments and shit like that. That's not ever been the definition of that word up until the age of social media. That's when they changed it. Oh.
Which would have taken him down for fraud and corruption charges, if not for October 7th. Those keep getting delayed. And not only that, but he's talking about backing Israel in another strike against Iran. What's the propaganda for that now?
And like I hate to have to say Iran. I keep calling it Iran. It sounds, anyway. They're in on it too. They're all in on it. You cannot own a country, especially that big, and like they're all in on it. All of them. They all know that they're doing the East-West chess game, right? The East-West 45D chess, 9D chess. They're all in on it. All of them. They're all in on it. All of them. They're all in on it.
Potential nuclear weapons, just as they reconstitute ballistic missiles, their only deterrent capability against Israel in its strikes of choice, which just happened back in what was that June. And now,
I know, switching to socialism or communism or what, that's not getting us out of this. Like, no. And like, I don't know. I know at the end of this, like at the whatever, the war is gonna happen. I mean, if I'm just doing this by like what I know from history, even current history, like, okay, so what happens is some new named party is gonna rise from from the ashes, I guess. But
That's the problem game. It's not even nuclear weapons. It's not a threat to the United States whatsoever. That was all.
and then hold on. Then you got the okay. In the I need to. I'm not gonna buy the Illuminati card game. I just need to know if there's a card. I should look this up. But if there's probably a card in the game which talks about nuclear proliferation. Is there? I hope not. I know there's lots and lots of like bomb cards, but I don't know. So then about that, so I start thinking like, why would like the half life of an isotope is, especially plutonium, it's like either millions or hundreds of thousands of years the half life. I mean, like, why? What? Okay, so what if you gain the world? But if you gain a world you can't even breathe in, what are you even doing? And then Elon Musk reminds me of Mars, right? Like, why do I think Mars? Oh, anyway, I think Mars did nuclear proliferation in their whatever game it was they were playing, and now we see what Mars looks like. No, we don't. Mars might not even be real. Who knows? I love me.
Listen, that tells you all you need to know. That Trump's going to sign with Netanyahu no matter what, no matter how many Palestinians he does, no matter how many times he wants to strike Iran, and we're going to bankroll that again. Well, I say hogwash. That is absurd. It needs to be rejected wholesale, whether you are a Trump supporter or not. And that's just what we're seeing here. This is a schism on the right. I do think it's mostly over Israel. It goes deeper beyond that into some domestic issues with certain APEC and censorship laws.
Okay, did you hear what you just said? There's a schism on the right, and he thinks most of it has to do with Israel and what everyone I think is failing. And like this is my opinion. Which the schism on the right that would mean that there's two different sides. And like I said, you got the Groypers on the one side, and see, I have mixed feelings about the Groypers because obviously they're all super just racist. And as a smart person, I am aware of the fact that intellectually racist or there's just they're fundamentally way less intelligent than non-racist. But nevertheless, we have, and I'm not calling anyone out. I'm just saying, like, just it's at this point, like, why are we just still racist? It's okay if you wanna, procreate within your own race. I mean, I don't. I don't really care about races. But the ideology. Here's why I care. The ideology and the things in it are they're very destructive. They can be. You know what I mean? Which is why I'm telling you, the mother who birthed the Groyper Party bows down to a blue and white flag. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, right? That's exactly the point. So that you won't ever, nobody will ever guess. Nobody will ever win the game of Clue. It was, Mr. Green did it in the library with a wrench.
The half of anti-Zionism, people like that with anti-Semitism, say, hey, you're all anti-Semites. It's not exactly working that much.
By the way, when I played Clue as a child, I never lost. I don't think I ever lost that damn game. Not one time that I ever played. And I didn't, I never lost though.
Especially when they hurl it at Jews that are good critics of Israel, like Mark Finkelstein, Jeffrey Sachs, and Dave Smith, and Aaron Monte, and we're watching Max Blumenthal. But that's fine. I think I want to hear what you guys think, though. Is Max Blumenthal right about this?
And here's another thing. Like, as soon as all these podcasters who were just coming out and the top ones, the ones who are that everyone is falling in line, and the ones that will get shot even more to the top as they keep telling the truth. Once they hit the certain level, there's a certain level going up too. Like, this isn't just it's also up to where the people that above, they're gonna they're gonna be like, because like once you once you start making that kind of money and get accustomed, and you just obviously your quality of life is gonna go up, and it's gonna be something that you have to maintain, so that when you get to a point where the ones up there are like, okay, that's as far as you can go. Now you need to fucking quit moving. Then I mean, and then mm.
Okay. So the worst people
Let's do Dissident's video about the worst people of 25.
here. Mr. Billington. Sorry. That was awesome sauce there. Okay. So the worst people of the year. Donald Trump certainly being nominated for reasons we pretty well covered.
This is a leftist podcast,
United States, the warmonger,
but I watch them frequently because um, if you live in a bubble, you might not understand that not everyone on the left is against everything on the right. Like that's not even a thing anymore. And not everyone on the right is against all the everything on the left. That God. Clusterfuck, man. What time is it? Like 6:16. Oh, somebody took back a leg. How sweet. I must have said something that pissed somebody off. You have to take back their leg. Oh. Oh, wow. Yeah, this thing this isn't gonna last much longer. This America thing. It's on the it's there's this certain type of philosophy. It's called accelerationism, and the people who own us are slave owners. The guys who own the plantations, like if that pisses you off, I don't care. But the slave owners, I forgot what I was gonna say. Anyway, whatever. Forgot.
On the front lawn, spraying people for no reason. Their pepper spray, just absolute scum of the earth. And you can see in the numbers that they're not coming in. 50 push-ups, 30 sit-ups. 1 in 3 on they don't fit themselves. That might be somebody you have a super chat here and you put an ice ads up on the resistance screen. I think they might have heard that one out of 3 of our audience that messed up ice ads.
Okay, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I did enough. All right.